What's up, ladies and gents? How about an early off-season film session, and as always, presented by Microsoft Surface, review of 2024. Got some pretty good players on this football team. One of them is our starting left tackle, an all-pro, at left and right tackle now, Tristan Wirfs. Guy is so much fun to watch, but I'm going to show you why in this film session, why we love him. Here we go. All right, let's start with, first of all, what we know he can do, and that's pass block. The guy is virtual stone wall when it comes to pass blocking. But it's not just because he's big. The one thing that I love, and I've always loved about Tristan Wirfs, even when he's playing right tackle, but especially now that he's playing left tackle, are his feet. All right, let's go to this Detroit game early in the year. This is, as we all know, Aiden Hutchinson, and I want you to take particularly notice at how wide he is. Like, we talk about wide nines, and you put DNs like outside of the structure of the regular defense. They're out here, so you get all this room. This is like a wide 12. Like, he's a mile outside of him. So what's that going to do? It's going to put a ton of stress on your left tackle if he's blocking him man-to-man. Now, what makes a good pass block? It's not necessarily just putting him, stoning a guy he's not going anywhere. It's giving your quarterback that 3.5 to 4 second window. So let's count this. Here we go. 1,000, 2 1,000, 3, 4. Baker gets plenty of time to get this ball out. But this is what makes Tristan Wirfs so, I think, unique in my book. Watch how his feet work. This is a perfect step, and from a DB's perspective, this is how I always wanted my structure to look when I was covering a wideout. I wanted my chest to be looking right at the opposing player's chest. I wanted my hands to be ready to go, but not reaching and lunging. And watch Tristan. He's just let his feet work, feet before hands. That's what I used to say, feet before hands, lock on, push him up the field. No way Baker can't throw a perfect ball here, which he does. All right, now, not only is he great at pass blocking, which we know, I don't think he gave up a sack this year, he is great in the open field. Now, I had 1,000 examples I could have used of this. Some of them are on screens where he's coming out destroying defensive backs, but this one really jumped out at me because you get a chance to see him move in space and how nimble this big fella is. So this is Philly playing some sort of man-to-man defense. So he has him, he's covering him in coverage. This guy is gonna get trapped by this wide receiver. And the structure of this play has Tristan coming all the way outside of this. He's got to loop around K-Dot and the tight end here, and then find a way to get a body on this corner who is much more athletic and nimble than him even, and he does it and makes it look so easy. I just love the way he moves in space. The guy is 340 pounds, I think, and he looks like he's just floating. It's so much better to see this from the end zone because you can see exactly the footwork that is required from this huge man to make this play. Watch this. Here we go. Again, this is going to be a block down. They're looping around and gives Bucky Irvin just great lane to get into the end zone here. Watch this. Watch this. Perfect first step. Underneath them. Lock on. Game over. Touchdown. Moving across one body is one thing, but moving across many bodies is another. Now, as you all know, this offensive scheme last year went almost, 50% more gap scheme than they had been in the past. And so what does a gap scheme run? It means you got pullers, you got guys moving across the formation trying to create gaps on the other side of the football. There's no two better players on this team than 78 and 62, your center, your rookie Graham Barton, than getting out in space and moving. Now, I love this play because from a defensive perspective, you're going to ask something of this guy right here. Don't forget that I told you this. You're asking something of this guy right here because there's an extra gap being created on this side of the ball that this guy has to take care of. But let's go back to the start. This is actually a really unique gap run because you get two pullers, one I'm being Tristan. You get your other running back, which is Rashad White, setting the edge here to prevent this Max Crosby from chasing down from the line of scrimmage. But what does that do for Sean Tucker here? He gets two enormous bodies out front. Good job by Graham Barton right there. But this, if you were a running back and this is what you have to look at in front of you, wouldn't you be pretty excited? I think I'd be really excited to see big number 78 in that structure right there. And you got a lot of grass in front of you and only two people to make tackle here. Now, remember what I said earlier about that defensive back? This This play could be stopped right here. This should be like a 5-yard gain. This guy has to go here. He's got this free hitter right here, and that play is probably 2 or 3, 4 yards. Maybe Sean Tucker breaks a tackle, who knows. But because 78 is so big and like scary looking in space right here, this guy makes a poor business decision and tries to avoid this block, and look at the gap it opens up for Sean Tucker. Love it. Tristan Wirfs on the ground, but who cares? He did his job. He did it well. Lots of great things on Tristan Wirfs. There's a reason why he's an All-Pro. There's a reason why he's a Pro Bowler. The reason why he's never going to be anything other than the Bucs' best tackle ever. Paul Gruber, but maybe him too. Anyways, that's your film session. I'll see you guys down the road.